Let's get right into it. So my name is Lars Hegenberg, Senior Innovation Researcher here at Trace3 on the Innovation Team, joined by Cory Root, Innovation Principal, recently joined us here at Trace3. We're tuning in live from the Evolve venue where we just wrapped up a very interesting first day. And Cory, you recently joined our team, so this is actually your first Evolve. So before we get into the meat and potatoes of what happened today, what's your first day like? Are you liking it?
Oh, yeah, it's fantastic. I think the Evolve conference, first, it's one of those well-run conferences, right? So things aren't falling apart. That's great. The speakers are fantastic. All the attendees, I think they seem to have really interesting, like applied practical problems to talk about. So there's a lot of interesting conversations to be had.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more. And actually, one of the sessions today, our breakout session, the innovation experience, is what we're going to do a bit of a recap of today. And we're just going to talk a bit about what it was all about, why we did it, some main takeaways, why anyone should care, essentially. So I'd say let's get right into it. So yeah, what was today all about? I think anyone who's worked with Trace3, who's interacted with us, knows that innovation is what we're all about. It's our big differentiator in the market. We pride ourselves in always staying ahead of the curve. Love showing our clients tomorrow to help them win today. At the same time, we wanted to make sure we do more than just throw cool catchphrases at our clients, right? And so what today was about was essentially giving our clients a hands-on experience of what it's like to work with the innovation team, how they can leverage us in different ways. And so what we did was almost replicate one of our flagship offerings, which are the workshops or briefings that we do. And so what happens usually in a workshop is we get a client that comes to us with a very particular problem statement or pain point, and then our team gets to do a bit of digging, and then we're going to be the ones that go out, that do the scouting and vetting of emerging technology, essentially looking for innovative solutions that are disruptors in their field, but that can also match-make that exact problem or pain point that our clients are facing. And so that's kind of what we tried to replicate today. So usually we go out and we curate a list of startups, we get them in front of the client, and then what we do is we organize sort of a pressure cooker style, speed dating style workshop with our clients where we get these startups in front of the client, they get their hands on the actual product, get to interact with the founding team, get anything out of that product as much as they want in order to make an informed decision on their technology needs. And so only today, instead of just doing this for one client at a time, we had about 75 client representatives here today, so just slightly adapting our approach. And what we did was we went out and we took 7 startups that we're currently very excited about because they solve very real problems in IT. So whether that's cybersecurity, data analytics, IT ops, they solve very real problems that are relevant across different industries. And so we took these startups, we got them to evolve, we vetted them, we prepped them, and then on the other hand, we took our 75 client representatives and we broke them up into smaller groups, and then had them move around the room, and they got to listen into one pitch at a time. And again, replicating the sort of speed dating format where in a short amount of time, you get exposed to what that product is about, you get to interact with the co-founders. Again, take away as much as you can in a limited amount of time. And so that's what today was all about. We were pretty happy with how it turned out. We had some great discussions. Some of the main takeaways we wanted people to have was one, to get exposed to emerging technology, and then at the same time, I know it sounds kind of cheesy, but get inspired by peers, learn about what problem sets they're working on, how are they leaning into cutting edge technology. And so I think we did a pretty good job of that today. We're pretty happy with how it turned out. But with that being said, I'd love to get into the thick of it. And Cory, I'd love to shoot it over to you, because you and I both got to listen in on some of these roundtable discussions, on the back and forths between founders and our clients, unless you were hiding at the cocktail bar, although I think that was someone else. But you and I both got to listen in, and I'd love to just get your best takeaways, some major themes that stood out, problems, or cool approaches from the solutions that you saw.
Yeah, I think one of the themes that kind of stood out a bit to me was this need for customer experience, or someone actually mentioned a similar one for internal employee experience, and how AI can help to support that. And I think that really brings up interesting needs for knowledge management of what are those special things that are important to your business that make your customers' experience positive or enjoyable, or make your employees' experience positive or enjoyable. I think that's a really interesting new kind of trend or demand. A second one that I find really interesting now is with the emergence of some of our new technologies like windsurf that we featured in the Innovation Expo. Almost everyone is, more people are becoming essentially software developers or engineers, right? And so there's this new need for kind of more responsible engineering practices as well. So these might be things like, learn how to validate properly and test, ensure that what you're making is doing what it's supposed to do. Yeah. Maybe like keep track of what versions are running in what environments, or your production releases, or just ensuring cybersecurity and security first practices for development.
Yeah, absolutely, and that absolutely resonates with what I saw as well. And I think one of the themes that I do want to mention that stood out is, I think it's very easy to get excited about all of this emerging tech coming to market, all these solutions that are leaning into AI with, novel value propositions coming to market every single day. Someone like Windsurf, who's truly been a game changer in their space. But then it's easy to forget about some of the challenges that we're facing with adoption of AI. So you mentioned, generating code, and if essentially anyone like me with very limited knowledge can go out and push out some code from their grandma's basement, basically, then the question becomes, how do we make sure that code is secure? How do we make sure the code that ends up in applications is secure? How can we basically supercharge our AppSec engineers? And that's where solutions like Go Security came in today. Same theme, again, around securing our interactions with AI. We had Prompt Security speak today, essentially making sure that every time an employee puts something into an AI tool, into a model, and every time that responds something back, that whatever text is transferred is secure, that no sensitive information leaks your organization, is extremely important. And so that was kind of one theme that stood out to me. Again, making sure that all of that adoption is done in a safe manner. And then the other one that stood out to me, we're talking about this ultimate reset here at Evolve, and I know that can be interpreted in several different ways, but one way to look at it certainly is, again, this emergence of AI solutions that are coming out by the hundreds, essentially every single day. And they're solving the craziest of use cases. There's really very few that we haven't seen so far. But at the same time, we have some problems that have existed for a while that we just haven't been able to solve in a very efficient manner. And so that was kind of the other part. So one thing I want to call out is cybersecurity, that more or less has turned into a bit more of a data problem recently. And that data is just very messy, right? Like the data pipelines are messy, fragmented data workflows, huge amounts of log telemetry data that just goes unused. And so that's where we had someone like Databond speak today that essentially acts as this intelligent router, this intelligent filter that can ingest your security data, enrich it along the way so that wherever it's going to end up, you can make very quick and even automated decisions based on that data. So I thought that was interesting, and as well, sort of taking this emerging technology but solving problems that we just haven't really been able to solve for in the past. And so plenty of exciting solutions that we saw at Evolve today, and especially our innovation experience, of course. And I want to shift gears a little bit and talk about then how someone like Trace3, how someone like our innovation team especially can step in and provide value and help our clients address some of those challenges. And I think today was actually a pretty powerful demonstration of exactly that, right? Matching emerging technology with our clients' needs to help them overcome, again, the business challenges that they're facing every single day. And I keep coming back to this ultimate reset and this frenzy of solutions that has come out. We've seen, I think it was 90 billion of VC dollars invested in Q2 alone. And I think for every $2 that's being spent, one of those is going to AI. And I think that just goes to show how incredibly complex, how incredibly quickly this market landscape is growing. And I think unless you have a dedicated team that tries to keep up with that, you're going to fall behind. And so I think that's exactly where someone like Trace3 and our innovation team can come in. We talk to 1 or 2 solutions every single day. We vet them across a wide range of criteria, whether that's architecture that's working behind the scenes, so deployment method, licensing models, competitive differentiators, everything that our clients need in order to make an informed decision on technology. And so, again, I think Trace3 and our innovation team is very well positioned to help here. But Cory, I'd love to shoot it over to you again, because before you decided to join the world's greatest company, Trace3,
that one.
you were actually sitting on the other side of the table. So you were practically a Trace3 client. So
Yes.
I'd love to get your take on what it's like to work with Trace3, what a client can expect to get out of these interactions, anything that you wanna talk on.
Sure. I think, to me, the biggest, I think, most remarkable aspect of Trace3 as a technology solution provider is, in my experience, whenever I've worked with integrators or technology developers, they always required a lot of hand-holding. They could bring a lot of talent and skill, but they still needed me or someone on my side to be driving things very heavily, very hands-on. And what I notice a lot immediately with Trace3 really is many of Trace3's clients look to Trace3 for all kinds of guidance. They allow Trace3 to give insight, looking to the future, and I think that's probably why a big part of why the innovation team is, I think, driving a lot of that too.
Mm-hmm.
That real technology leadership.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I'm hearing is, not only are we the most proactive in always providing our clients with the latest takes on emerging technology, what they should be aware of, latest trends, what their needs currently are, but we're also the best at actually implementing it, right? Is that what I heard? I think so, right?
Something like that, definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's awesome. And we're going to do one more question, and then I think we're going to get kicked off stage. But I want to talk about what's next for the innovation team. And I'll give my take, but I'd love for you to chime in as well. I think first and foremost, probably keep doing what we're doing. About, or even more than 20% of Trace3's business comes from emerging technology. And I think that doesn't just happen overnight. That comes from, again, our daily scouting efforts, the daily market research, all the client interactions that we have on a daily basis. That's what really allows us to have this sort of holistic view of the market landscape and always be ahead of the curve, and post numbers like those. So I think first and foremost, keep doing what we're doing. I think it's a really wild time right now, very exciting time to be in technology. There's a lot of uncertainty, but I think whenever there's uncertainty, there's also a lot of opportunity. Opportunity not just for our clients to lean into cutting edge technology, but also opportunity for Trace3 and our innovation team to come in and help our clients sort of make their vision a reality, sort of say. Take that uncertainty and form it more into clarity, again, that on a daily basis they can make the right decisions. And then at the same time, we have this new exciting strategy component that's going to come to our team, where essentially the question was asked, how can we make sure that this wealth of knowledge, all of this information that we're creating, that we're managing on a daily basis, how can we make sure that some of that information also informs some of the strategic decisions? And so one of the decisions was made, or what we're trying to do is, because we realized as these technologies get more and more complex, it's not just a matter of quick installments or a one and done deal and off you go. But really, adoption has gotten a lot more complex. And so we want to make sure that we incubate those technologies that have a services requirement. So essentially, we want to make sure that wherever our clients are at currently, that as they are starting to lean into these more cutting edge technologies that we're scouting on a daily basis, that we also have the manpower to step in and help them make that a reality. That again, we can provide the knowledge, the experience, and the services to turn all of this product vision into a reality. And so that strategic component is coming to our team, which is going to be very exciting, is going to require just continuous efforts in scouting, in our market research, again, sort of keep doing what we're doing and apply that knowledge. But Cory, what's next for you personally, and then our innovation team as well?
Personally, I'm one of the more recent joinees, and so coming from more of like an engineering practice and my background, I'm very much like a text processing nerd, and so I love any unstructured text data. So I'm hoping to just personally find some interesting problems in that space, pretty much anywhere in the company that I can hopefully uncover them. Collecting interesting problems is always a personal pastime of mine. Otherwise, for an innovation team, I think we've got so many really exciting AI, ML, data-focused tools and solutions to really kind of like dig our hands into. I see a lot more of that in the next year or two.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're super excited to have you on the team. Again, your knowledge and expertise in data is going to truly make a difference for our clients. So we're super lucky to have you. And very excited for what's next for the innovation team.
Thank you. That's a wonderful welcome.
All right.